Heavy rain overnight, bringing now cooler temperatures for the morning commute. Enjoy the mild start to your morning. The heat will soon be back with a vengeance. Some meteorologists Grant Gilmore tracking temperatures and keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Kirk.
And I'm Hillary Zala. No worries on our streets right now. A couple of crashes, nothing major though. I'll keep an eye on it for you.
All right, Hillary, drama in D.C. Will Brett Kavanaugh be confirmed for the nation's highest court? We're following the fallout from the contentious hearings on the Hill Thursday.
I thought it was my civic duty to relay the information I had about Mr. Kavanaugh's conduct so that those considering his nomination would know about this assault.
Brett Kavanaugh vehemently denying all allegations. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. Did you guys catch?
I couldn't turn away from it.
Yesterday?
It was just riveting. I mean, just to watch and to hear both sides of the story.
I mean, I was on the couch for
Yeah, we had it on in the background all day.
riveting stuff. We'll have a lot on that throughout the broadcast. Good morning. Happy Friday, September the 28th. You're up with Brightside. Good morning, and thanks for starting your day with us here on Brightside. I'm Rob Finnerty. We want to get straight to the story that everyone is talking about. The woman accusing Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault shares her pain. The Supreme Court nominee maintaining his innocence, and Brightside's Emerald Morrow has been following all of this for us. Emerald, we could find out as early as today, but maybe not, if Brett Kavanaugh is going to move on to a full Senate vote.
Yeah, Rob, that's right. The committee will vote today, and if a majority back President Trump's pick, his nomination will move to a full Senate vote as early as next week. But after yesterday's emotional 9-hour session, today's vote could be delayed.
Of the letter.
After a day-long hearing at the Senate Judiciary Committee, only a handful of senators remain undecided on how they'll vote on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
He's right, she's wrong, she's right, he's wrong. I mean, you're never certain.
Republican Senator Jeff Flake says he's still processing the 8+ hours of testimony by Kavanaugh and his accuser, Christine Blasey Ford.
He began running his hands over my body.
Ford, trembling but calm during most of the day, recounted her claim that Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her in high school.
I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling.
Many Republicans say there's lack of corroboration to her story and have thrown their full support behind Kavanaugh.
To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics.
During his defiant and emotional testimony,
my family and my name have been totally and permanently destroyed. We mean no ill will.
Kavanaugh strongly denied the allegations and joined Republicans in calling them a smear campaign.
This confirmation process has become a national disgrace.
I'm not sure he showed the sort of judicial temperament that is at least typical of nominees before us.
Democrats continue to call for an FBI investigation, but admit there's nothing they can do to stop Kavanaugh's confirmation without Republican help.
Now, if you're wondering where President Trump stands on all of this, he did tweet his support of Kavanaugh, and he said his testimony was powerful, honest, and riveting. Democrats' search and destroy strategy is disgraceful, and this process has been a total sham. Now, late last night, the American Bar Association urged the Judiciary Committee and the full Senate to hold the vote until the FBI has time to do a full background check on the claims made by Ford and other women.
I want to get a quick check on the weather forecast as we head into our morning because, man, some of these storms last night were intense. A lot of lightning, very heavy rain, especially in eastern Manatee County. A lot of the rain has dissipated, maybe a few sprinkles left over in eastern Hillsborough County. Right along the I-4 corridor in between Tampa and Lakeland. If you're on I-4 or you're about ready to, just know there's still some standing water on the road in some places. That will be less and less of a concern as we head through the second part of our morning commute into the majority of our day. But with the rain overnight, temperatures significantly cooler through much of Tampa Bay. 78 in St. Pete, 78 right now in Tampa. The last few mornings we've had temperatures to start in the 80s, so a little cooler now as we start things off. Temperatures though rebound very quickly. Mostly sunny skies. We're back into the low and mid 90s. Your high this afternoon, 93 degrees. Your weekend looks even hotter, Hillary.
We're going to see what? What did you say?
It's going to be hotter.
Oh, it's going to be
this weekend.
hotter.
Yes.
Oh man, I thought for some reason you might have said it was going to be cooler. But
Well, it will be.
Wishful thinking.
Eventually.
Yeah. All right, 5:04 is the time on your Friday. Like Grant said, we had a lot of rain overnight, and we had some standing water out there on the roads. One specific area is in Micronesia City in Manatee County here, along State Road 70 at Betts Road, specifically in the westbound lanes. So that would be going towards I-75. You have some standing water there. The road is open in both directions, but you have to be careful as you travel through that high water. The road was closed overnight, but it is back open. And then we have a crash also on the Sunshine Skyway Bridge right before you get on the Manatee side, right at the South Toll Plaza. One lane is blocked.
All right, we've got an Amber Alert for you this morning. This brother and sister out of Suwannee County, they are 7-year-old Brian and 6-year-old Gabriella. Officials say they could be traveling in a black Toyota Camry with Texas plates, driven by a name named Richie. Detectives believe they're heading west toward Texas or Madison, Florida. If you've got any information, please call 911. We've posted all their information on our Facebook page and on our website, WTSP.com. In Polk County, Haines City police arrested 37-year-old Abriel Ojeda for impersonating an officer and sexually battering a woman. The victim is scared to come forward because Ojeda threatened that he worked with ICE. She didn't know he was lying because he did have a firearm badge and strobe lights on his car. We asked defense attorney Bryant Camerino how immigrants who come into the country illegally are defended when a crime is committed against them.
Most immigrants are afraid to come forward, but the truth is, they have the same protections that any other victim would have. The difference is that they're afraid to come forward. But the law says if you're a victim, regardless of who you are or where you come from, you have the same protections.
The police chief says reporting crimes early is important regardless of your citizenship status because stopping a suspect is vital. Police think this was not an isolated incident. They do not think there are any other victims. New overnight, a man is expected to be okay after crashing into a pond off the I-75 I-4 interchange near Scheffner. The driver, Nicholas Fry, was able to get out of the car before it sank underwater. Detectives say Fry climbed out of the car and onto the roof of that vehicle. He told state troopers that slick roads from the rain caused his car to slide off the interstate and into that pond. And developing right now, check this out, everyone surviving a plane crash in Micronesia. Take a look at this video here. Earlier this morning, a Boeing 737 hit the water short of a runway just before it was scheduled to land. The airline says everyone evacuated safely. They are trying to meet the immediate needs of all the people on board right now. We're told between 40 and 50 people were on that plane when it went down. Well, back here at home, UCF is extending in-state tuition to students who came from Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands after Hurricane Maria. The Board of Trustees agreed to waive out-of-state fees for students from U.S. territories through 2023. In-state tuition costs more than $6,300 a year compared to $22,000 a year for out-of-state tuition. And it is barely fall. The first day of October is on Monday, today the last Friday of September, and we are already getting flu cases popping up here in the Bay Area. There have been a handful at local hospitals here in the Tampa Bay area, but in Orlando, they've had a huge uptick, and it's still September. Florida Hospital Center Care Clinic, doctors have seen more than 60 cases in this past week alone. Last flu season was the deadliest in at least 4 decades. The CDC says 80,000 people died of the flu and its complications last season. 900,000 had to spend time in the hospital. The CDC blames the severity on a particularly bad strain and lower vaccination rates in key groups.
More than 40% of kids were not vaccinated against the flu. Seeing a decline in coverage in this age group is very, very worrisome.
And that's why doctors say it's time to get a flu shot right now. Anyone over 6 months old can get a flu shot. The CDC says you can get vaccinated over the course of the next month. They can't predict the ideal time to get one, but the start of flu activity usually starts in October, so right around the corner now. There is no way to predict when the flu season will officially peak. So if you're wondering when the best time to get one is, doctors say it's really right now. All right, when Brightside comes back, we know the Gulf is full of sea creatures, but no one expected to see this. Good morning and thanks for being up with Brightside on this finally Friday morning, September the 28th, the last Friday of September. Take a look at this live shot right here, the Tampa Bay skyline looking from the, you can see the convention center there in the foreground. Beautiful shot, all lit up. Only 5:12 on your Friday morning, getting closer to that weekend. We'll check in with Grant in just a moment. I'm Rob Finnerty. Here are some of your headlines on this Friday morning. Big news for job seekers. Publix is extending its Lakeland headquarters. They're going to be expanding it. They're going to add 700 new jobs over the next decade. The grocery store chain has seen significant growth, expanding into 3 states with more than 500 new stores planned. Manatee County Animal Services is looking for your help this morning. The kennel is so full of dogs ready for adoption right now that there are dogs in crates in the hallways of that shelter. So if you want to adopt a dog, if you're thinking about doing it, now is the time. The shelter out in Palmetto is open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 5 and until 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. Manatee County is remembering a man who served as the face of the sheriff's office for decades. Dave Bristow died Monday of natural causes at the age of 59. A visitation will take place today from 3 to 6 at Brown & Sons Funeral Home in Bradenton. His funeral will happen tomorrow. And before we show you this next story here, we want to be very clear. This did not happen on a beach in the Bay Area. We had people on Facebook saying that this was happening here, but a surprise visitor did make for a very memorable and somewhat scary day in Pensacola. Take a look at this. This is a giant snake that came up onto the shore out of the water on Tuesday afternoon. Rhonda Sanders took these pictures. She told the Pensacola News-Journal the snake seemed absolutely exhausted and was having a hard time keeping its head above water. A wildlife professional came out to take that snake away. Someone on the beach got a closer look and told Rhonda it was a diamondback rattlesnake. Pretty scary stuff. I looked into this, Grant. Apparently these snakes will go into the water to look for food sometimes.
Okay.
And because of the red tide, they're going further and further out, hence why that snake might have appeared to be a little bit tired. But imagine you're swimming and that thing slithers by you.
You're worried about sharks and all of a sudden you see a rattlesnake.
I mean, this is a whole new ball game now. Whole new ball. I would rather see a shark. I'm just going to say it. Snakes are my one bugaboo.
That beach chair is looking really nice.
Yeah.
Trying to stay away from the water, for sure. Speaking of water, guys, really heavy rain coming in overnight, especially down through eastern Manatee, Hardy, and Sarasota County. In fact, I just got a report from our crew down at our school the week at Micronesia City Elementary, where they said the power's been out all night. Not just a lot of lightning down there, but very, very heavy rainfall. Some places picked up between 3 to 4 inches of rain. Now, all that rain has cleared out, so no concern for storms this morning. The last bit of rain dissipated over eastern Hillsborough County, so still some wet roads possible right along the I-4 corridor. But look at some of these rainfall totals. We're talking eastern, southern Manatee County, just south of DeWitt, and Micronesia City. That's kind of the bullseye there, where we have rainfall estimates between 3 to 4 inches of rain. But even Sarasota, you had between 2 to 2.5 inches of rain overnight. It came in fast and then it cleared out pretty quickly as well. So that's why we're going to see some standing water on the roads. Hillary actually has a couple of closed roads, right, Hillary? Still some closed roads down there?
Issues in Micronesia City.
Yeah, okay, so we'll check in with Hillary in just a second. But the good news, though, is the rest of our day, at least up until around 3 or 4 o'clock, no concerns for any rain out there. Partly cloudy skies as we head to the next several hours. We'll see a few isolated showers and storms develop late this afternoon. Now, a couple of these storms could hang around up until around 10, 11 o'clock. We'll likely see those die down after midnight, maybe a few lingering showers after midnight. But for the most part, storms gradually clearing out as we go into the early morning hours tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll see plenty of sunshine once again into the afternoon. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. High temps back up to around 94 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon. Way out over the Gulf of Mexico, we have some more storms. Those will stay there. So every once in a while on our sky cam shots, you'll see those flashes of lightning off on the horizon. You see a little bit right there. In Tampa, though, it's 78 degrees, so actually a little cooler than it has been the last couple of mornings because of that rain overnight, sort of cooling things off a little bit faster. We warm quickly, though, back up to 93 this afternoon. 20% chance for a few of those late afternoon and evening storms that will hang around to the first half of the overnight. Sunset this evening at 7:20, and that is going to lead us into what's going to be a potentially record-breaking weekend. 93 today, that wouldn't quite be record territory, but 94 degrees would break the old record high temp of 93 tomorrow, and then 93 also on Sunday would tie the record high temperature. So the heat continues to wrap up September. Quick note, Tropical Storm Kirk now moving into the far eastern Caribbean, moving through the Lesser Antilles right now. This system begins the weekend very quickly as it moves to the west, likely by the time we get done with the weekend, the storm will be a thing of the past, moving into a very sheared environment, meaning the system's just going to get ripped apart and less of a concern over the next couple of days. Quick check on the forecast next week. 30% chance for just a few scattered afternoon storms. Temperatures, guys, a little cooler, quote unquote, cooler. Low 90s for next week, Hillary.
Anything will feel cooler than what we have been dealing with, right? All right, here's a live look at downtown Tampa at 5:17. I'm Hillary Zala, and Hillsborough County right now is our quietest county, so we don't have anything going on. And you can see 275 and I-4, which is the busiest interchange in Tampa Bay. There's nothing going on. However, we do have a couple of other issues, and Manatee County is definitely our busiest county right now. We have a crash on the southern end of the Skyway Bridge. It's actually still considered 275. You're not quite on the bridge yet. The crash is in the northbound lanes right at the South Toll Plaza, and it's on that exit ramp there, so the right lane is blocked. It's not causing a delay in either direction, but just to be aware as you approach the Skyway to go through the toll booths, you'll see that crash there. And then in Micronesia City, so still Manatee County here along State Road 70, the road was shut down overnight at Betts Road for some pretty serious flooding. Now the water's receded a bit. Westbound and eastbound lanes are open, but FHP wants to warn you there is still standing water on the westbound lanes of State Road 70 here, specifically right at Betts Road. So it's something where you're not going to want to go the typical speed. You'll want to slow down and go through that water just because you don't want to have hydroplaning happen. So be aware of that as you travel through Micronesia City. And there are some other hot spots on State Road 70 as well. Here's downtown St. Pete looking great and in the green. No issues for you on 275 or 4th Street. MLK looking great as well. Jenny.
All right, Hillary, we want to take you back now to our big story this morning. Of course, the day-long hearings on Judge Brett Kavanaugh, and opinions were sharply divided before the allegations even came to light. But now the nation seems even more polarized over his nomination. So we want to know, did yesterday's hearing do anything to change your opinion? We want you to vote right now on our free 10 News app. It's super easy. You can also go to our Facebook page where you'll see the link. And right now, we haven't gotten any votes in. Of course, we are just putting this out there, so we want you to weigh in because we want to know how you feel about this, and we'll be checking on those results throughout the morning.
All right, Jenny, first it was plastic straws, and now it looks like paper cups could be next. Welcome back to Brightside. Happening today around the Bay Area and throughout the weekend, 2 events are taking place in Clearwater. This one's pretty cool. The first, a festival leading up to Sunday's Superboat National Championship race off Clearwater Beach. Today, fans can watch the superboats at the Baystar Race Village at Coachman Park, followed by a block party which starts at 6:45 tonight. On Saturday, the festival will continue with the Race Village Games, entertainment, and there's going to be a lot of things happening out there. The 1980s band The Romantics, remember them? They're going to be playing at 7:30 on Saturday night. Also happening this weekend, the International Beach Games taking place on Clearwater Beach. The games feature competition in beach rugby, beach soccer, beach tennis, beach ultimate, beach wrestling, Highland Beach Games, open water swim, beach powerlifting, and the ultra weight pentathlon, which all happens again on the beach. The International Beach Games is open to athletes throughout the world, and this all happens on our sandy beaches. That's the most I've ever said beach in a script in my entire life, by the way. Wow. All right, we all go through the drive-thru. Sometimes we get something to drink. It typically comes in a paper cup, maybe a styrofoam cup, and most of us, we just throw those cups away. Americans go through more than 1 billion cups a year, 108 billion to be exact. About half of those are made from plastic, foam, and the other half are made from paper. And now Tervis, the maker of the famous tumbler, is going to be giving away 10,000 limited edition Guy Harvey tumblers today. These are pretty cool, and people lined up around the factory store in Sarasota for one on Thursday. You don't have to buy anything. You just have to take a pledge to be a little bit more environmentally conscious and to not use paper cups as often.
What we can do to help preserve our mammals, our sea life, our crustaceans, our turtles, our dolphins, our manatees. What's happening right now is frightening, and we're here to do our part.
Who doesn't want a free tumbler? The ones available online were claimed within 20 minutes after that offer went live. All right, Coppertail Brewing is hosting a launch party at 4 o'clock this afternoon with a new beer called Sea Turtle Sour, which is a sour wheat beer brewed with key limes grown at the Florida Aquarium. There will be animal encounters and custom beer glasses for sale. $1 from every pint sold will help fund the aquarium's mission to help rescue sea turtles. Beer glasses, cool. Just like their logo on the side, I think. All right, you're up with Brightside Friday morning. Thanks for being up with us. Check out this Earth Cam shot of Times Square. Kind of rainy and sloppy there as folks are waking up in New York. A lot happening today. The Senate Judiciary Committee could vote to confirm Brett Kavanaugh to a full Senate vote. The committee that heard testimony yesterday is made up of 21 members, 11 Republicans and 10 Democrats. So it is still likely that he does make it through to the next phase. We are also waiting for FWC to release their updated red tide map. That usually happens in the afternoon. Stay with us. Brightside returns in 2 minutes.
I hope you like it hot. I really do. I mean, that's all we've had here recently in the month of September. So it's on track to be the hottest that we've seen, not just for the month, but for the entire year.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
That forecast ahead.
September?
Yes.
Does not make sense.
No.
I'm Hillary Zala, tracking traffic for you. So far, a minor crash in Manatee County and Hillsborough County, and a little street flooding from that overnight rain.
All right, Hillary, the he said, she said tale of what potentially happened between Brett Kavanaugh and Dr. Blasey Ford. It came to a head over the course of 9 hours in the Capitol yesterday. Today, the Senate Judiciary Committee could vote on Kavanaugh's Supreme Court confirmation. We're keeping a close eye on what happens there, and we are expecting an updated map from Red Tide, from FWC about the red tide today. I don't know about you guys, but like I love going to the beach, taking my daughter. She loves to swim. We haven't touched the ocean in like 6 weeks now, and she lost her tan. I know she's a baby, but she's a very tan baby.
Yeah. It's all about the pool now,
you know,
right?
I guess, but the ocean.
A lot of people just like you guys, not going to the beach,
Right.
you know, having to find other things to do with their kids. It's been tough.
Hopefully we get some good news from FWC today. That usually comes out in the afternoon. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, September 28th. You're up with Brightside.
We'll talk heat in just a second, but first let's talk about the rain that we had overnight. Very heavy rainfall in Manatee, Sarasota, even western Hardee County. That rain quickly dried up over the last couple of hours. Maybe still some wet roads down into southeastern Manatee County, also eastern Hillsborough County, where those showers just recently dissipated. Overall, though, a dry morning. Those clouds will continue to clear out as well, so we'll have a lot of sunshine through, especially the second half of our morning. Temperatures a little cooler because of that rain. Look at Riverview, 74, 78 degrees in Tampa. Bradenton, you're at 74 degrees. Bartow, 77. Bartow, actually, you're under mostly clear skies. Sunshine through a good majority of the day. Temperatures with that sunshine up around 93 this afternoon. We will see a chance for a few late afternoon and evening thunderstorms. We'll show you the futurecast in just a few minutes. So keeping an eye on that chance for storms later on today, but we're still keeping an eye on the tropics as well. Tropical storm Kirk spinning in the eastern Caribbean. So remember, it is still hurricane season, even though we're heading into the month of October. And if we ever have a storm in the area, you can plan on coverage right here on 10 News. And you can listen to that coverage also on our radio partners, the Dove 105.5, the Eagle 107.3, Hitland 106.9 in Sarasota, and Magic 94.9.
All right, time now is 5:32 on your Friday. I'm Hillary Zala. So this is a live look at I-4 at Memorial Boulevard in Lakeland. This is Polk County, and the I-4 corridor is looking great. Couple of accidents, though, in Hillsborough. We have one in Tampa along I-75. This is northbound right at I-4, not causing any issues. It is off to the side. And also a crash on the Sunshine Skyway Bridge right before you get on at the toll plaza. You have the right lane blocked as you head northbound here.
All right, Hillary, 32 after the hour. Today, FWC will release their second red tide map of the week. They do so on Wednesdays and on Friday. The bloom has been spreading, but levels have gone down in certain areas. There were fewer high concentration markers along the Pinellas County coastline, but the bloom is still affecting 135 miles of coastline from Pasco County all the way down to Collier County. The red tide bloom is also being found up in the Panhandle in Gulf Bay and Franklin counties right now. Again, we are expecting that map to come out between 3 and 5 o'clock this afternoon. And you can now add blue crabs to the list of sea life that red tide is killing. There are more and more videos popping up on the internet showing blue crabs in southwest Florida washing ashore dead. Florida Gulf Coast University researcher Dr. Mike Parsons says the crabs are washing up on beaches because they have no oxygen to breathe in the water.
Some of them were even clinging on the dead fish. Alarming and concerning, where we're seeing blue crabs, we're seeing calico crabs, we're seeing leopard crabs, some small swimming crabs.
Yeah, and all you've got to do is go down to our local beaches to see these crabs on the shore. Dead zones, which are areas with no oxygen in the water, are large enough in certain places that the crabs can't just swim away to find cleaner water. Sky 10 flew from Clearwater Beach south to Pass-a-Grille on Thursday. We saw a handful of people out there, but really there were just long stretches of open and empty beach. But on Siesta Key, we did see some people out there enjoying the sand, and some people were even in the water. We've told you before how the toxin released by the red tide organism can impact humans as well. It doesn't have a smell or a taste, but it can lead to coughing, sneezing, watery eyes, and an itchy throat. If you've been on the beach, you know what I'm talking about. A doctor who's done decades-long studies on red tide and the impacts of red tide on humans says other symptoms could also be a major problem. Listen.
It's a potent neurotoxin, and we think some people are affected through the neural system. Headaches, there is some concern that if people are predisposed to migraines, that it causes them to have more migraines. And then again, an overall general malaise, you just feel crummy.
She went on to say lethargic as well. Barbara Kirkpatrick also shared her frustrations, saying time and money should be spent studying red tide, not only when the blooms occur, but when they're not here as well. This bloom, again, one of the biggest we've seen in more than a decade. To learn more about the effects of red tide and to see the latest red tide status map, you can check out the special section on our website. It's WTSP.com/red tide. All right, in just a few hours, the Senate Judiciary Committee is scheduled to vote on Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court, but that vote could be pushed until Monday. The committee heard emotional testimony from Kavanaugh and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford yesterday, who is accusing Kavanaugh of sexually assaulting her at a party in the summer of 1982.
I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what terrified me the most and has had the most lasting impact on my life.
I never had any sexual or physical encounter of any kind with Dr. Ford. I never attended a gathering like the one Dr. Ford describes in her allegation. I've never sexually assaulted Dr. Ford or anyone.
President Trump did tweet his support of Brett Kavanaugh, saying, quote, his testimony was powerful, honest, and riveting. Democrats' search and destroy strategy is disgraceful, and this process has been a total sham.
And Rob, now that we've heard from both Ford and Kavanaugh, we want to know from you all. We want to know, did their testimony change your mind in any way about Kavanaugh's nomination? So we started asking this just a few minutes ago.
Right.
We want you to weigh in. You can do this through our 10 News Facebook page, or you can do it right on our 10 News app. So far, 90% of you say, nope, hasn't changed your mind a bit. But there is 10% saying, yeah, they were keeping, they're keeping an open mind about it, and probably watched a lot of it, as many of us did. We're glued to the TV.
It was riveting yesterday. This went on for almost 9 hours. By the way, the woman over Brett Kavanaugh's right shoulder during his testimony, that brunette, that was his wife.
Yes.
And she was emotional throughout that testimony, as you can imagine you would be as well if you were in that situation. But keep those votes coming. As Jenny said, we just posted that right now, so we don't have a ton of votes just yet, but 90% of people so far saying no. So again, keep those votes coming on our 10 News website. It's WTSP.com/YourSay Tampa Bay. We are keeping a close eye on politics on this Friday morning. Democratic gubernatorial nominee Andrew Gillum is getting some added star power next month. Former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton will be campaigning for the Tallahassee mayor in Miami. That is slated to happen on October 23rd. As for Gillum's Republican challenger, Ron DeSantis will be in Miami today. He's making stops at the Miami Chamber of Commerce and will be speaking to community members and business leaders during a scheduled roundtable. Former First Lady Michelle Obama will also be in Miami today. She has recently launched a When We All Vote, which is a national nonpartisan organization to encourage people to vote. Singers Faith Hill and Kelly Rowland and rapper Fat Joe will be joining her at the University of Miami for the free event. That is also open to the public. Jenny?
All right, Rob, let's check out some of the most interesting stories that are trending on social media right now. So when you're a celebrity and you're literally a walking contradiction, people are going to talk about it. Check out what Kanye West was wearing yesterday. I'll start the video and you can kind of see, you have to look closely at his hat and his shirt. He's promoting his upcoming album to a music magazine. He's wearing a MAGA, Make America Great Again hat, talking about how he redesigned the hat. And of course, we all know that's President Donald Trump's slogan. But check out his shirt. I'm going to play it again. I don't know if you can see what's written on it. It's a Colin Kaepernick shirt with a MAGA hat. He says he designed that Colin Kaepernick shirt that very morning. I don't know what else you can say, except I'm like everyone else on Twitter, confused.
Yeah, Cap's still looking for work, too.
But you know, it's Kanye West. He does what he wants, doesn't he? Okay, let's move along. This story, major drama going down at a zoo in Denmark just in the last couple of days. It was all caught on video. You got to look at these cute little penguins here. So there's a couple of gay penguins, okay? And they wanted a child. So when they saw this other couple leave their little chick to go take a swim, they decided they were gonna move in and take care of that baby, but they kidnapped the chick. We're talking about penguins here, not people, okay?
What?
When the mom and dad came back and found that their baby was gone, they went and confronted the other penguin couple. And there was a lot of screaming and screeching on this video. We have this on our 10 News Facebook page.
This is real?
This is for real. This happened.
Sounds like a movie.
It should be a movie. But the zookeeper actually had to step in and take the chick away from the couple that kidnapped it and give it back to its parents. This is insane. I love the whole story. You have got to see the video. Again, it's on our 10 News Facebook page. You have to check it out. All right, take a look at these shoes.
Oh, dear.
Aren't they pretty? They are believed to be the most expensive pair of shoes in the world. Anyone to guess how much they are?
$1 million?
Not even close. Try again.
Is that a diamond?
$500 million?
$2 million?
$17 million. That is the price tag. It took 9 months to create these shoes made of gold and encrusted with diamonds.
Those are trophies.
Where do you even wear these, Jenny? Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing them anywhere.
I'd wear them to work.
Can you imagine? They don't even look like they're comfortable. I'm sorry. But yeah, so these shoes, the most expensive in the world, going on sale in Dubai, display and on sale in Dubai. Who knows? I'll be curious to see if anybody buys these.
Crazy.
Those are your trending stories right now.
Wow. Well, we're going to take you to Dubai right now. You are up with Brightside on this Friday morning. Courtesy of EarthCam, we've got a shot of Dubai, and I'll tell you what, looks
Are the
hot.
shoes there? Can you
that,
see them?
See that little building in the foreground? The arrow's pointing to it. I just did that. That is the place that would host the gala event that I would go to, wearing the men's version of those shoes. But you're right, they'd be really uncomfortable. Not a lot of give.
Oh, no.
Not a lot of give in those. Stay with us. We've got more Brightside coming up in 2 minutes. Good morning and welcome back to Brightside. I'm Rob Finnerty. As you head out the door on this Friday morning, you might want to grab a couple bucks, $2 out of your change jar. Mega Millions is going to have another drawing tonight. The jackpot is at $336 million. You can watch that drawing right here on 10 News before Nightside, which gets rolling at 11 o'clock. Good luck. The SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, is asking a federal court to remove Elon Musk as Tesla's chairman and CEO. In a complaint filed yesterday, the SEC says he committed securities fraud with false statements when he tweeted last month that he had secured funding to take Tesla from public back to private. Musk said in a statement, the action is unjustified and that he acted in the best interest of investors. Well, we have been lucky so far this hurricane season, but we are keeping our fingers crossed. There are still 2 months to go in hurricane season. A new study says that last year's wild Atlantic hurricane season was caused by a combination of natural and man-made conditions. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration scientist Hiro Murakami says that climate change boosted the temperature of the Atlantic Ocean. Warm water, of course, acts as fuel for hurricanes. Last year, there were 6 major hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean with winds of at least 111 miles an hour. Grant, it was a wild hurricane season. And what is crazy to me is right around September 10th, when Irma hit us a year ago, at one point there were 4+ active storms in the Atlantic, some hurricanes, some not. And then they just all went away after Florence, of course, hit. But then there was just nothing out there.
Changing the pattern, and you see the activity really drop off quickly. I mean, this season has been a wild season as well. You look at Florence and the rapid intensification of that storm. You know, that's that warm water in the Atlantic. You know, there's a lot of that heat content in the ocean. It just fuels those storms, and they're going to light up like a wildfire. You know, no pun intended there, but just another natural disaster. But certainly concerning, right? Speaking of the tropics, we've got our own tropical storm out there that we're watching. No concern for us, but certainly the Lesser Antilles and the Caribbean would say otherwise. Strong thunderstorms moving through parts of Barbados right now. The storm, actually, the center of the storm, if you look very closely on the western fringe of all that thunderstorm activity, wind shear already impacting this storm, just ripping this storm apart, and we'll likely see this be a thing of the past and dissipate very quickly. It's forecast to already be a remnant low by tomorrow morning. So even though it's a tropical storm right now with wind speeds at 50 miles per hour, this system will weaken very, very quickly as it moves to the west into the Caribbean. September, not just the peak of hurricane season, but also it's been a hot month for us here in Tampa Bay. Look at these numbers. So these are the actual high temperatures throughout the month. We haven't had a normal high temperature since the 8th and the 9th. Actually, the 9th was slightly colder than normal. The normal high temperature was 90 degrees, but mid-90s for the last couple of weeks. We'll keep those on track as we go into the weekend as well. And that basically puts September as the hottest September on record ever here in Tampa. But not only that, it's been so hot that September 2018 looks to go down as the hottest month ever in Tampa Bay, or at least in recorded history. As of yesterday through September 27th, the average temperature here in Tampa, 85.8 degrees. The hottest month ever on record here in Tampa was June 1998 with an average temperature of 85.6. So it's looking like we'll have a good chance of becoming the hottest month on record. We could even break a couple record high temperatures as we go through the weekend. Temperatures in the middle and upper 70s right now, 78 in Tampa, 78 right now in St. Pete. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, but once we get that sunshine working for us later today, those temperatures warm really quickly. Some storms out over the Gulf of Mexico. That's the only rain that I can find on the radar right now. In fact, from the Skycam in downtown Tampa, you'll see every once in a while a couple flashes of lightning, and that's those storms way out over the Gulf. As we go through the day, though, we'll find mostly sunny skies to start, 20% chance for a few late afternoon and evening storms. We'll see that 20% chance of rain continue as we go into the first half of the overnight. Otherwise, we're looking at more heat and more humidity as we head into the weekend. Temperatures today up around 93 degrees. We'll be at 94 tomorrow. That would break the record high temperature. 93 on Saturday. We'll keep that 20 to 30% chance of rain as we go through the majority of next week. Hillary?
Hey, Grant. It is 5:49 on your Friday morning. We are just kind of zooming through this 5 o'clock hour, almost to the 6 o'clock where things are really going to pick up. Unfortunately, we do have some early morning accidents, so it hasn't been completely quiet, but the crashes are minor, no injuries reported in them, and most of them are moved off to the side of the interstate. So this one in Tampa on northbound 75 at I-4 is one of those. No injuries and moved off to the side on the shoulder, so not blocking any main lanes. And northbound 75 is completely quiet in both directions between State Road 56 and the Selman Expressway. Here's a live look at the Howard Franklin Bridge, 275 right at that Kennedy Boulevard exit on the Tampa side. It is just taking you 6 minutes to cross this bridge, and then the Courtney Campbell and the Gandy are just as quiet. So it really is a great time to get out the door if it makes sense for you if you're in Pinellas and trying to get into Tampa. Our other crash is just as you approach the Sunshine Skyway Bridge toll booths. So I'm talking northbound 275 at the South Toll Plaza. There's a crash right on the ramp there, and it's in the right lane. So the right lane is blocked, but no injuries in this one. And you can see speeds are still looking great along the 275 corridor. Pinellas County, good morning to you. Not seeing any crashes in St. Pete, Clearwater, everything good. Almerton Road slowing down a little bit east and westbound between Roosevelt and US 19. Very typical to see early morning slowdowns there. It's just one of those roads that is not easy during the commute time, but still a good option for you. And then this is Polk County, where I-4 and Polk Parkway are looking good. If you see a slowdown on Polk Parkway, don't worry about it. That's just as traffic approaches the toll booths. Rob?
All right, Hills, thank you. Week 4 of the NFL season getting underway. Last night, the matchup featured the Los Angeles Rams, the red-hot Los Angeles Rams, and the Minnesota Vikings. It was an entertaining game with lots of scoring. The Rams proved why they might just be the best team in the NFC right now. They took down the Vikings. Final score was 38-31 in this one. Rams quarterback Jared Goff throwing for over 400 yards again. He also tossed 5 touchdowns. The game also marking the first time that female broadcasters were ever paired together for an NFL game. Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer covered last night's game for Amazon Prime. On Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Bucs will face the Bears. Do we know the starting quarterback? We still don't know yet. We hope to find out at some point today. At the Trop yesterday, a very costly ejection for Yankees pitcher CC Sabathia. Check this out. He was kicked out in the 6th inning for throwing at Rays catcher Jesus Sucre. This after Rays pitcher Andrew Kittredge threw behind Yankees catcher Austin Romine during the previous half inning. I say it was costly because Sabathia was just 2 innings shy of earning $500,000 for an incentive innings pitched bonus. He just had to pitch 2 more innings. He didn't get that. He was ejected. The Yankees went on to win that game by a final score of 12-1. October 1st is on Monday. Pumpkin spice coffee, the signature drink of the fall, some say. But is that tasty drink what you think it is? All right, welcome back to Brightside. Happy Friday. It is officially fall, right? Even if it doesn't feel like fall out there.
No, it doesn't.
My fall?
Well, you're the one that tells us the bad news. So we've had pumpkin spice everything. You know, it's that time of year. But before you run off to Starbucks to get that PSL, which is a pumpkin spice latte, take a listen to this. According to Kate Patton, who's a registered dietitian at the Cleveland Clinic, not all pumpkin spice is created equal.
Of course not.
In fact, some pumpkin spice products don't even have pumpkin.
Well, it's spice.
Pumpkin spice products are usually just going to have that pumpkin flavor, so the spice flavor, but really you're not going to get the actual nutritional value from unless there's any real pumpkin. So you won't get the, the beta carotene, and you won't get the fiber that real pumpkin has.
And to that, Miss Patton, I say, who cares?
They gotta ruin everything for us.
I know. It's just the flavoring.
I am never going to Starbucks getting a pumpkin spice latte.
Because there's no nutrition
for
in
the
it.
fiber. Trust me, I get my fiber from other sources. Patton says to look for real pumpkin products that also contain spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, turmeric, and other things.
Or just add that in after you have your Starbucks.
Or just enjoy it. I mean, come on.
Prunes.
Not everything has to be healthy.
Or barbecue.
True. Just watch out for the sugar content. I will say there's a lot of sugar in those drinks.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay if you have your PSL.
Yes.
It's Friday.
PSL.
Yes, it's Friday.
All right, guys. 93 this afternoon, 20% chance of storms. Heat continues into the weekend, so yeah, not feeling like fall.
All right, more on the Kavanaugh Blasey Ford hearings come up in Brightside. Stay with us.